Hello, everyone. So previously, I did mention that I'll be sharing about my insurmountable academic journey. So I finished Matric in 2009, and that's exactly 11 years ago. I loved economics. I wanted to study economics post-Matric, and funny enough, I only applied at one university, which was CPUT, Cape Peninsula University of Technology. Yes, CPUT, and I did not get accepted at CPUT, and Miguel just left it at that. So ASCOM was offering bursaries to TVET students, and my mom's friend told her about that, and my mom told me, and I was like, yo, but I don't know jack about. So they were offering these bursaries to study, obviously, electrical engineering, yes. But I was like, but I know jack about electrical, like I knew jack. The last time I heard about atoms and all of those things was in grade 9. I did mention that I went to a school where we were, the course, not the core, but the subjects we were doing were commercial subjects, which is business studies, economics, and we only did the commerce subjects. So last time you get taught about anything science related was in grade 9. So I'm like, but I don't know anything about electrical engineering, but I understand where it was coming from, at least from my mother's side, because there I was, completed my grade 12, years are going by, you're not studying anything, you're not improving anything, and that was not the plan, that was not the plan, and I know it used to hurt her a lot. As much as she wouldn't share how much it would hurt her, but I knew very well. Her coming back from work, seeing me at home, not doing anything, I knew, because it was hurting me as well, right? But then, yeah. But anyway, I decided, you know what, let me just go through with this thing, because let me just go through with it. But I knew deep inside, I don't want to do this. I know jack about engineering. Never mind the fact that I didn't know anything about it, I was just not interested. And as expected, I failed that course. Like I flippin' failed it, like dismally failed it, because I was just like, guys. And there's Lentomna, like, it was just too much. I knew I wasn't gonna go far with that qualification. I knew I didn't want to do it, but I was doing it to please my mother, I suppose. I was doing it to not be that girl that was sitting at home not doing nothing. Opportunities came, but she didn't want to grab them. So I also didn't want to seem like I'm not trying really my best to get myself out of that situation that I was in. So and so she was like, you know what, Sphinx, I don't think you should continue with this. And I was like, yes. But that's strange. I mean, why would you wait for someone to liberate you when you can just? But of course, that wasn't me then. That's not the mentality. I wasn't equipped, or I wasn't courageous enough to accept to myself first, and then have the courage to tell the next person that, listen, this is not me. I don't like this. I am failing this. It does like nothing to me. It doesn't move me a little bit. And then I had a friend who I was studying with at that college. So she was like, I think you should study something else. And when I knew I wasn't going to go far with that qualification. I knew I didn't want to do it, but I was doing it to please my mother, I suppose. I was doing it to not be that girl that was sitting at home not doing nothing. Opportunities came, but she didn't want to grab them. So I also didn't want to seem like I'm not trying really my best to get myself out of that situation that I was in. So yeah, and so she was like, you know what, Sphinx, I don't think you should continue with this. And I was like, yes. But that's strange. I mean, why would you wait for someone to liberate you when you can just? But of course, that wasn't me then. That's not the mentality. I wasn't equipped, or I wasn't courageous enough to accept to myself first, and then have the courage to tell the next person that, listen, this is not me. I don't like this. I am failing this. It does like nothing to me. It doesn't move me a little bit. I'm thinking of this girl's name. Her name is Apiwe, but we used to call her Capiche. So Capiche is like, listen, I think you should just quit this, and then she was like, listen, so what I've decided to do, I've decided to apply at a university. I've applied at WSU already, and I think she was accepted, or her results were pending. But she was like, I've done that because, I mean, I don't want to continue studying at that college. I want to take it further. So I think you should do that, but apply for something that you like. And I was like, okay, Capiche. And yeah, I went forward. I went to WSU. It was January, still like beginning of the year. The universities had just started opening, at least the admin stuff. So 2013, I started my first year. I was now happy because this is what I know. Now I knew accounting. Now this was my stuff, right? So yeah, let's do this. It was a great year. Passed all my modules that first year. I mean, like any first year, I get excited, this is it, right? But I mean, at this point, so I wasn't gonna go there and fail. I mean, life had already taught me a thing or two, so I wasn't gonna be swayed by the first year fever, right? I was too old for that. But yeah, I did my first year, did my second year, got a bit tricky second year. I failed accounting, which now meant I couldn't do accounting 2. Which basically ended at another extra year. So the program I was registered for was a 4-year program, it was a 4-year program because I was put on the extended program because my maths results were not good. They were not up to scratch. So then I had to go through the extended program first. So basically my second year was more of my first year, but my first year was my first year. My second year was my second year. I think you know what I mean. 2015, I got engaged, and my fiance was staying in what is it? And I think when it's a guy, you say it differently. I don't know, fiance or fiance, the right one. The right one was staying in Joburg. And so then that meant, and not that necessarily that, yeah, so then we decided that I will move up to Joburg. And yeah, my husband is a cinematographer, which basically means he specializes in camera work, camera movement, and then /DOP, right? What DOP means, director of photography. Am I right?
Yeah.
There are more chances of him thriving and succeeding in his career in places like Johannesburg more than places like Eastern Cape. So I had to come join him here. So it made sense for us to then come stay this side and be based this side, because already his career had started off this side. He studied here, and so it just made sense for us to come stay this side. So in 2015, I had applied at WITS and UJ, and I didn't get accepted. Did not get accepted because, again, remember that maths I told you about? My maths was not good, and so then they wouldn't accept me because my maths was not up to scratch. So yeah, so now in the Depro, I'm a newlywed, I am Depro, I'm just like, this is not happening. But yeah, time went by and I was just like, okay, I need a plan, but yeah. So a plan came. I remember my husband went to go visit another family from our church, particularly the father of that family. And in their talks, the conversation about me not studying came up, and that gentleman then suggested I check out CIMA. So CIMA, it stands for Chartered Institute of Management Accountants. So I did my little bit of research about CIMA, and there was one of my husband's friends who was actually studying CIMA. So I asked him, what is this? How does it work out? So yeah, we talked a little bit, and then we went to CIMA offices. I spoke to a student advisor. So she just explained the whole program to me, and based on my level of education, where would I start? So I had to start right at the bottom, which is at the certificate level. So how CIMA is, it's got 4 levels. It's the certificate level, which is straight from Matric, or if you don't have any accounting related qualification, that's where you would start at the certificate level. From the certificate level, you go to the operational level. From the operational level to management level, from management level to the last level, which is strategic level. So 2016, I did the certificate level. I did it, finished, awesome. 2017, then I would start the operational level. Operational level is an equivalent of a degree or diploma in terms of the South African qualifications framework. It will be NQF level 6. So now 2017, so I started it. I was studying it at one of the CIMA accredited colleges. The qualification is comprised of 3 pillars. Then when you complete those 3 modules, then you write the case study. Now the case study is now the integration or the consolidation of the 3 modules that you were doing, tested in one paper. So I wrote all my 3 modules. I wrote them, I passed them. Then I wrote the case study. Case study, that was 2017, right? So I wrote the case study. I wrote on the last sitting of the year. So they have 4 sittings in the year to write your case study. There's the February sitting, May sitting, August sitting, and the November sitting. So I wrote the November sitting. I failed. I was like, oh, okay, all right, not happy, I failed. But it was like, oh, okay, no, it's the first time. I mean, it's okay. The case study is quite challenging. In fact, the whole qualification is quite challenging. So our lecturers were like, it's fine, it's okay. You'll try again. Tried again. Failed. Tried again, failed. Tried again, 4th time now. I failed. And I was like, no, I cannot. I can't do this. And something profound happened when I wrote my last case study. So I wrote it, got up from the table. And when I had gotten up from the table, something said inside of me, how long are you going to keep on doing this to yourself? And at this time, I was already like, my confidence level were like at the bottom. Like I was on the pits, right? As the people put it, I was on the pits already. I was just like, and I was just not happy. I was really not in a good space, and I was just like, maybe I'm not cut out for this qualification. Never mind the fact that maybe I'm not cut out for this qualification, but I don't even like it. I don't want to be a management accountant. I don't. That's not my dream. my dream is to be an auditor. So I knew I didn't like this, and it required more of me. And I felt I was giving more. I was putting in the work. I was studying. Even when you change your study techniques, because you're probably thinking, okay, I failed because I did this. So I would change my study techniques, but it was just, at this point, we had already spent quite a considerable amount, because these qualifications don't come cheap. And never mind that part, but what was happening on the inside. Because I was just like, maybe I'm dumb. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe this. I started questioning everything I thought I knew about myself. Started questioning my abilities. It was just not. It sent me to a dark space, And I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm quitting this. I don't want. It's fine. Call me that girl that quit the qualification, but I'm good. Anyway, I don't see this. And during that time, I remember even my husband asking me, do you see yourself past this qualification? And for me, that was quite an eye-opener, because honestly, beyond that qualification, I couldn't see myself. Now my mind was focused on, I need to pass this exam. I need to pass this exam. And that was just that. And that's, of course, yes, when we're at school, we want to pass, right? That's what we need to do. We have to pass. But it is beautiful to know that it's more than just about passing the exam. It is about what's going to come after passing the exam. It is the possibility of now actually practicing this thing that you've been studying all these years. And for me, I did not see myself past the qualification. I just could not align me and being a management accountant. The two just wouldn't mix. The college that I was studying at was not only offering the ACCA qualification, the CIMA qualification, it was also offering the ACCA qualification. And I then learned about ACCA, and the nice thing about ACCA is that they were doing audit, right? So ACCA, before I go on any further, ACCA, it is another global body for professional accountants. It's the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, right? So they produce accountants. They produce chartered accountants. It's also a global body. And so I was interested in it. I'm like, if it's got audit, I'm good. That's me. That's my space. That's what I like. So they gave me some credits. I didn't have to start right at the bottom level. So ACCA, similar to CIMA, has its qualification ranked like that. You've got the foundations level, that's coming from Matric. Then you've got the professional level. And at the professional level, you have two levels rather. You've got the skills level, and then you've got the professional level. So then, because of the credits that I got, I was going to start at the professional level. So 2018, I started ACCA. I started with law, the easy one. I was just like, let me start with that. Also, I consulted with someone who was an ACCA member. So I consulted with him, and it was like, okay. So now, because I was going to work as well, which meant I wouldn't have enough time. So I had to take it bit by bit. So then I started with law. I wrote law. Yay, I passed. Good. Then I was gonna do financial reporting and taxation. Hey, Bandasa, to cut the long story short, I failed tax and financial reporting. I was struggling to balance my work life, my family life, the me life, and my studies. It just seemed like these were conflicting. And of course, economists put it well, right? I feel like life is really about there's the balancing effect. What do they call it? cost of something. I forgot it. But opportunity cost. Yes, it's called the opportunity cost. So you make this decision at the cost of the prospects that would have come if you had not made that decision. So basically, life is like that. I feel that life is like that. We can't always, at least that has been my experience. I've learned that I can't always perform at my optimum in all of those areas, right? It almost seems like there's always that one area that wants to take over, or that demands that you give more of it, and obviously at the expense of the other parts of my life in this case. So yeah, it was quite a very challenging time. I failed those modules and I had to go back to the drawing board and be like, sister girl, come on now, come on. Kudala sizama, at least the undergrad qualification. You've been starting these things, they haven't been going well, and it's okay, it's fine. We can't go back and fix things. We are here now. What needs to be done? What must happen for you to complete your qualification? And obviously, I spoke to my husband, I poured out my heart to him. I explained to him that this is what I was feeling. Because now what was happening is that I felt that my goals, my objectives of being an internal auditor were suffering because of all the other things. I felt, and at this point I was not even performing well in my job, because I remember I told you that I struggled. I mean, I know there are other good people out there that are doing it all. Kudos to you, fam. You are doing a remarkable job. That is beautiful. But this girl, I know I couldn't. No, it was just too much for me. It was really just too much for me, and I had to make that sacrifice. I had to make that sacrifice to leave my work, leave my job, and just decide to focus solely on my studies. The thing about failure is we know that failing, there's no road to success that isn't without delays, that isn't without change of course, that isn't without going back to the drawing board a lot. But also it tends to, or at least maybe I have allowed it to do that to me. It tends to kill your self-confidence. It tends to make you question that if you can actually do this. It makes you question a lot of things. And you can't question yourself. Of all the things that you can question in this world, you cannot question your abilities. I mean, if you question yourself, who's gonna believe you, right? I can't expect the next person to believe me. But yes, that is my becoming journey. I am trying to overcome the demon of questioning myself, the demon of, you failed, CIMA. You failed it 4 times. Those thoughts do come back here and there. But I mean, we have to rise above that. I have to rise above that. I can do this. I know I can. But I will be updating you guys as time goes on. I will be sharing here and there. Maybe I can actually do a video just solely explaining the ACCA qualification and the CIMA qualification. I know that in South Africa, people know about them, but they don't know about them enough. Or people don't even know. People don't even know what I'm talking about. So maybe I can do a video that just explains these professional qualifications that I was studying and am currently studying, and how they are good, how they relate to other academic qualifications, and what's the point of doing these qualifications? Why not just go to university? Maybe I can do a video about that. But yeah, that's where I am currently. Yes, thank you for watching this video. Please do the right thing. You guys know the right thing. It's the subscribing, it's the liking, and please do tell other kids that there's a new kid in town. Please, please.